As of Monday, January 24, 2022, grades 6 and Form 5 students, as well as early childhood centers, returned to in-person classes after schools were closed during the middle of last week. Face-to-face interaction was suspended and classes moved to a distributed learning model as teachers called in sick amid the fifth wave. Both the Teachers Union and Principals Association had misgivings as COVID-19 cases escalated. Education Minister, who was a guest on Radio 100's Out Goes In on Monday, sought to explain the initial policy decision on in-person classes with the guidance of the Health Ministry.
Do you think it was a wise decision to take at that time?
I believe at the time that we were doing the right thing. When you look at the impact the pandemic has had on the education system, I mean, it has been a challenge. Even before I came into the ministerial office at the Ministry of Education, my predecessor would have had her own challenges trying to manage the education system in a COVID-induced environment. What happens then is that we look at the number of cases we have in country, and that happens at the level of the Ministry of Health through the office of the CMO. They look at the dynamics in country, and based on that, presentations are made to cabinet telling us which sectors can open based on the dynamics as seen from the standpoint of health.
So, why the exceptions for in-person classes for certain grades and early childhood centers? Edward explains that the ministry had to find common ground with the Teachers Union.
We called the union in. They stated their position, which we did not agree with. We had to make a case to allow the grade 6s who are preparing for common entrance to come in, and likewise the fifth formers in the secondary school system. There was a bit of back and forth, but at the end of the day, I believe we made a decision that both parties could have lived with. And this morning, as we speak, our grade 6 students who are preparing for common entrance are in school. And likewise, the examination counterparts in the secondary school, the fifth formers, are also in school. This morning too, early childhood centers are open, so preschool and daycare students are in school. It's a continuation of things as per normal for the South Louis Community College, and vocational institutes or institutions like CARE are also having school.
The minister believes that despite the challenges, there are opportunities to advance the sector in the digital age.
Online learning, or virtual learning as we call it, is evolving. What you've just mentioned, we're actually looking at the level of the OECS, and not just on a St. Lucia level, but the CXC syllabus that challenges students at the end of 5 years when they do CSEC exams, which most persons would refer to as the CXC exams. There is one syllabus that is rolled out or taught throughout the entire Caribbean. So the mathematics concepts that have been tested in Guyana are the same ones being tested in St. Lucia. So when you look at economies of scale and given the financial challenges we have from time to time, it makes sense for us to approach some of what you've just mentioned at the level of the OECS. So we're looking at a suite of instructional material and approaches that can be rolled out. And of course, if needs be, you will tweak to cater for the unique circumstances that may exist in individual countries.
A number of students, especially those from low-income backgrounds, have missed out on instruction amid the migration to virtual platforms during the health crisis. The government is set to receive another 10,000 devices to help bridge the digital gap. Gina Filippi, HTS News Force.